In this lonely ass world, it's getting colder. I'm not going nowhere if I cannot take my boat there. My mind was bred a little different, yeah, from my own past. If I see heat, why the fuck would I wanna go there? Mama, I make you smile. Mama, your little nigga came from wildin'. Mama, always got in trouble, I was shouted. Mama, now I'm staring at shit. Mama, I'm the pilot. Mama, if I want something, I'ma go get it. Mama, swim with the sharks, piranhas, and fishes. Mama, it's so hard down here, God is my witness. Mama, I know where I'm going. Mama, I'm a fan. It's hard not knowing who is really gonna be there for me. I wish you could be here to see me the day I start touring. Shit be on my mind every second when I'm not recording. I'm waking up conversating with the Lord every morning. I mistakenly took the wrong path, I had to rewind. I fumbled trying to move too fast, I had to keep trying. Growing up, I got in trouble, told myself to keep lying. So much stress be building up, swear I be needing me time.
To the DMV and the rest of the world. Excuse me. This is your girl, Reese, aka the best that ever did it, aka it's Tall Tale Thursday. Yes. And before I get into Tall Tale Thursday and all that good stuff, I want to say good morning to my super producer, Mr. Molly Mall, Small Skull in the house. He's in the backyard doing 50 million things, but he's here with us. And I want to say good morning and welcome back to my beautiful, my lovely mentalist. Good morning, Blue Phoenix. Good morning, Phoenix.
Hey.
And I also want to say, good morning to the incomparable Lee. What's going on with you, Lee in the house?
What's happening?
What's
happening?
Yeah. For some reason, I slept good. It's not some reason. I got introduced to something. I got introduced to something last night. It was a pineapple cup. Right?
Oh.
Yeah, they took and filled it up with smoke, and then you take the straw and inhale it all in. And before I knew it, I was walking home. I didn't do a comedy set. I did nothing. I came home. That's you got some good shit.
I don't know what it was.
That was the funniest. That was the funniest set I've ever had. I didn't have to do a damn thing. I left, and as I was leaving, everybody said, "We lost Lee." I said, "Why?" I said, "She said she's too high."
Wow.
They tried to get me to stay. I couldn't do it. I didn't trust no one to bring me home.
Look.
She said she didn't trust nobody to bring her home.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I had some really good jokes. I just couldn't remember them after that. That's that. Yeah, man. That was pretty rough last night. It was. Don't get me wrong. It felt good. It was pretty rough. I'm wide awake and bushy tail this morning. The voice a little deep, but it is what it is.
This morning, you sound like you do every morning. What you talking about this morning?
This morning I sound a little. This morning I sound a little like Froggy. Froggy from the Little Rascals.
He wasn't from the Little Rascals. He was from Our Gang. Our Gang.
Is that right?
With two different groups. Yep.
I don't know. All I know is my voice. My voice sounds like I swallowed a piece of meat.
Oh,
not that kind of meat.
Ooh,
Not that kind of meat.
ooh.
See, I wasn't even thinking along the lines of that kind of meat.
Not that kind of meat though.
You can't swallow that no way. So
Yeah, I've seen them do it. They come back.
that's right,
It's like a
exactly. It can't go
magician and a
nowhere.
sword.
Deacon
It's
Can't
Sword.
like
go
a
nowhere.
magician and a sword. You ever seen
Mm.
you ever seen those magicians that swallow the sword that comes right back up?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yep. It
I've
come
seen
They
back
have
I,
up,
no
but
I've
you
seen
can't.
it.
gag
You can't swallow.
reflexes.
We'll
Let's
save
say
that
that
for Wellness
caught
Wed.
for yeah.
We'll save that for next week. We'll save that for next
Oh,
week. Wellness Wednesday.
oh, Freaky
How to
Friday.
how to measure an AGT? You know what an AGT is, right?
I do.
Yeah.
Tell the people what an AGT is, Lee. And it's not for
Huh?
America's Got Talent. It's not for America Got Talent. Tell them what an
No,
AGT is, Lee.
no, 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 no. That's not what that don't mean. You can't measure talent, but you can measure a good throat.
That's from the mind of Lee, you guys.
Oh my
I ain't
God.
got nothing to do with it. I ain't claiming nothing on that. Oh, I ain't claiming nothing on that. But today is Tall Tale Thursday. Oh man, and we got some juicy stuff. I was up cracking the books. I was finding some stuff for y'all for us to talk about today. Man, baby, you think that it's safe to go back in the water? Oh no, you know, it's open like that. I don't know, but I do got some clips that I want to get to, and I want to share. But before I talk about the clips and we share, I just want to break it up with some news. Okay, who am I, y'all?
The Mac.
Joe Biden.
Return of the Mac once again.
She Joe Biden and she's staying still.
No, that's Mitch McConnell.
Oh, look, one of them. What the hell?
Look, I feel as though you 81 years old, and he talk about something. Oh, he had a head injury, whatever. Look, it's time for. Look, this is my belief. Get them people out of there. Don't let them to be serving till they 92 and the congressman or 100 years old because they taking those old ways of thinking and they still got it going around. Let's get some new blood in there. What is the retirement age now? It's 67. I believe when they turn 67, let's push it to 70. 70, you need the new meat to come in. Okay? After 70, let them go on the Shady Pines and Golden Acres and somewhere sit it down. That way they can blink and paint and golf and do whatever they want to do for the rest of the remaining of the good life. Don't be in there making up laws and passing laws and stuff because if you up there, how you gonna pass some laws and you sitting there? What laws you gonna pass with that?
Can't even hear the daggone laws.
You're right. But these are the people that we got in. You know, I mean, not just Mitch, all of them. And
It's a lot of them, yeah.
How you gonna be the Speaker of the House and you can't speak? That's what I'm trying to figure out. How you gonna be the Speaker of the daggone House and you can't speak?
That's true.
You know he's supposed to be representing. Who you representing? The catatonic people. Y'all better get him on there. What's
How you
wrong
gonna
with
be
them?
the Speaker of the House and you can't speak?
I believe when they get a certain age, retire them.
Yeah.
Retire them. Let the new blood come in. Because them people's gonna occupy this space till they die. Which most of them do. Don't die out. Get your butt voted on out. But it takes the younger people to do that, put that in effect. How old are you? You were 69. You got one more year to serve. And then you out. Retire them folks.
They let them go until they die. Some a lady in there that's in a wheelchair. I think she's 90 something. Still in there.
They got people on oxygen in a gurney. And the Pelosi lady, her husband said, if you don't get the hell out of there, they'll hit me in the head with a hammer. You know, they be like, you better get on out of there. Because I ain't going to take no more blows for you, Nancy. They done came in your office and crap you off. They want you out there to hit me upside my head. Nasty
You know,
finally be like, you know what? I'm gone. They had them on oxygen and life support, and they still serving. You remember that lady that was sick, that was gone for half the year, for more than half the year, and she was like, I was here the whole time. They was like, where? That's how come you need to be voted off right there, because you don't even know where you are, lady.
You know, and I agree with the age thing, because if you are a certain age and you still have that mentality, you were born 80, 90 years ago. 80, 90 years ago was a lot of things going on that was not going on now. I mean, it's still some things, it's undercover a little bit. But you were born during a time where racism and Jim Crow and was had a strong arm on the country. You know what I'm saying? And you still kind of, you might not, but it's a very strong possibility that you still have that mentality. And you're in there doing legislation and making laws and trying to pass and not pass stuff. No, get your ass out of there.
Mm-hmm. That's that old way of thinking. And as you get older, when you get older, you revert back to that negative old way of thinking.
Exactly. And you get ornery. You don't want to be bothered. Not all old people, you get up an age, you have the right to have an attitude. You done did your time. But there are some people who just, like you said, they go back, and their mind may go back. And so they may think that, hey, we still got these niggas up in here. There's still niggas out here. It's still,
the old folks home, Louisa, you are absolutely right. Because being at the nursing home facility and the older people of a different unit, they sling the N-word. They say you to help, you to serve. They forget, and they talk to you. This white man come up, gal, come here, gal. I was like, where's the gal at?
That's actually a country. That's actually a country thing, because gal is down. That's a down south term.
He was from Southern Maryland, and
that's everywhere. That's everywhere.
Yeah, gal is
That he was from Southern Maryland.
That's everywhere.
He was a racist, and and I talked to him, and here go my mother. I don't see how you talk to the people. I don't see how you'll befriend anybody. I said, because I want to know how he thinking and what he thinking.
Right.
And he told me how stuff was. And I was just sitting there like,
everybody is not
okay.
Everybody is not the same.
Yeah.
I mean, black, white, blue, or green, not the same. When this stuff first jumped off, and I know I missed something because my internet went off. When
what are you talking about?
I talked to a white guy. We just so happened, George Floyd had just got killed. And this guy, he was there. They was having a big march, and they had the street shut down, coming out of Woodbridge and Dumfries. And this guy, you can just about see that he was in tears. He was like, "This can't be." I'm like, "Why is he standing there looking like he's ready to cry?" And I said, I'm just one of those people. I yell out to him. I said, "What's the matter, bro? Your goldfish drowned?" And he was like, "Nah." He said, "I'm just standing there thinking, what am I doing to do with my wife and my kids?" I said, "What do you mean?" I mean, he didn't have to share this, but he was open. He said, "My wife is black. My kids are black. I'm going to have to choose. They're going to have to kill me." And it just blew me away that this man said this in front of another black guy. And the only thing we got from the black guy was, "Why did you marry out of your race?" So we're all in that. Love has no color. You know what I mean? We've only been free like 51 or 53 years.
That's not what we're saying. We were saying that their old way of thinking, a lot of the old people thinking, and when they get older, they revert back to that negative stereotype.
It's not. It's not even the thought. It goes back to what they proclaim to be dementia and Alzheimer's. This is what they remember to be right. This is where the left-brained and the right-brained, you don't know what side of the brain that they're using. You know what I mean? When you're younger, you're using both of them. And then as you get older, only one side works. And that's the side
Well,
that
that's
you're
why
more
you have.
familiar with because you were brought up with that. We just went over this. We talked about trying to distinguish that size brain we were last night, remember?
That ain't got nothing to do with
Hello?
people beliefs and their color or how they feel about one race about another. It's just, you know, like you could keep your opinion to yourself, but as you get a certain age, they will speak out and they will vocal. And I'm saying this because I was in the nursing home and how I'm saying how they act when they were older. They get older, they get bitterness. A lot of them get more bitter, get more cantankerous, and they speak out. You would say, "Oh, I never knew he felt that way, or never knew because he never displayed that, you know, on a regular." When they get old, they forget. Oh, I got to put on act, so they won't put on an act no more because as they get older, it comes out who you are.
Right, exactly. That's why these when they get a certain age, they don't need to be governing because they're governing under an old rule.
That's
You know,
what we
you
were
got
That's what
saying.
she. Yeah.
That's
I
what we
want to say
saying.
that like 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm thinking like 7, 8, 10 years ago, they had a motherfucker in Congress that was still in a damn gurney and an IV, and he on the floor voting. What was he voting for? If he was going to pull the plug? If they was going to let him go? No, he said.
We're saying. We were on the same side of the coin.
What?
On the same side of the coin.
I mean, who's gonna wheel me the fuck up out of here? I mean, it was crazy. I'm like, why is this man still in Congress? Or why is he in the House of Representatives in a damn gurney with an IV stuck in him? What the hell can he vote on?
Type of pain meds he
We
wants.
got to do better. We know better. Huh? It's a true story, though. This is all true story. I can't see where. I'm interrupting. I'm interrupting the bird feed. Hey,
Patricia
ladies and gentlemen.
She said most of them are out of the
Y'all
South.
enjoy.
What's really going on with society today?
And what's going on with society? They're afraid.
Yes, I'm in
See,
the middle of the show.
at some point they think. At some point, it's not even society. It's what's being taught.
We're on Facebook.
Right.
I don't know. Molly.
Again, it's always our way of thinking. And like you said, Lee, you know, they revert back to what they were taught as a child. And if we continue to teach those same things, then that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a continuous cycle of hatred and prejudices when those prejudices and hatreds are misinformed and they're formed of ignorance and fear. And it's a misplaced fear. You know what I'm saying? So we have to push to teach the right thing and stop believing stereotypes. Because like you said, everybody, you know, just because people were like that then doesn't mean they're like that now. Even Black and Asian and we tend to forget that it's not just white people that hated us. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody.
They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't. Hold on. Stop right there. They didn't really hate us. They didn't hate us. It was the fact that we were different. They don't know how to trust us. And
Exactly. It's fear.
What people
Fear.
Yes. Fear that we've always challenged. You know, most of us challenge. You know, the leaders in the Black community, in the Black force, those are the ones that's dead, basically. And you got the ones that go along to get along. Then you got them ones that's gonna tell on everybody. I mean, we still under that Jim Crow law. We're still under it because of ourselves.
Yeah.
It's us. We can blame ourselves.
What she said, the viewer, Miss Prince said, she said most of them are out of the South, right? She said, what's really going on with today's society? She you know.
Let me throw you this. Let me throw you this message that was sent to me.
We're not gonna throw that. We're gonna watch a video. After that's because our video gonna tell it all. Let's watch this video.
All right.
Molly. Watch the video.
In 1964, the desegregation of Jonesboro, Louisiana High School was threatened by local authorities with fire hoses. 4 armed black men arrived with loaded shotguns. Without firing a shot, the mob dispersed and the authorities retreated. The students entered the school without incident. Those men were members of the Deacons for Defense, an armed citizens militia founded in Jonesboro, Louisiana. The Deacons were everyday citizens who by 1965 had organized into more than 50 chapters throughout the South in self-defense from the Ku Klux Klan.
In 1964, down in Louisiana, there were all types of demonstrations going on by freedom riders. Many times, the demonstrations would be met by armed white resistance. People were dying and being shot and intimidated because they were unarmed. And basically, because they were unarmed, they were also being denied the right to vote.
The Deacons protected civil rights workers for CORE, the Congress of Racial Equality, who were registering voters in Louisiana and Mississippi. They patrolled black neighborhoods and protected black churches where CORE was holding voting rights seminars.
These were regular, everyday people. They were not some paramilitary group. The thing that made them different is they were veterans from the Korean War. They were veterans from World War II. And so they did have the training and they did have the discipline that came from being veterans. Once the Klansmen and the white citizen consular and the deputy sheriff that was wearing the sheet at night learned that these Deacons for Defense would shoot back, then they were not as readily willing to go and pounce upon them in the wee hours of the morning.
Are you going to do something about it?
Because now they knew that, well, the right to bear arms is providing constitutional rights for these blacks, irrespective of the fact that we want to take away their civil rights. They're fighting on solid ground.
The effectiveness of the Deacons in deterring violence was so great that Dr. Martin Luther King and Floyd McKissick of CORE hired the Deacons to protect the marchers from Klan aggression in the 1966 March Against Fear.
The very effect of armed resistance in the name of civil rights is what really cast a new enthusiasm into the civil rights movement at a critical time.
What y'all think about that?
Wow, that's amazing. And I had never, I've never heard of them.
That's what we're supposed to be teaching.
There's something that they don't teach it. We don't get those.
No, because
you don't hear. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was saying because of desegregation, we don't concentrate on our history, the stuff that we did in our community. You're not going to hear about stuff like that, but you'll hear about KKK, but you won't hear about the defense, Deacons of the defense. And
that's because the Deacons shot back. You heard about the Black Panthers. They didn't go around shooting, but you ain't hear about them Deacons because the Deacons was like, let me tell you something. You come over here, you're going to limp on back and you might not even go back. You understand? They're not going to, the history is written by the quote unquote victors or written by the ones who was able to get to the book first. So you're not going to hear about someone who had a group of people who had the power to defend themselves because we've always been made to look defenseless. We've always been made to look weak. We've always been made to look like animals. You're not going to hear too much about a group of people who actually defended them. You're going to hear about the marches. You're going to hear about, of course, people fighting back. We fought back. But a couple of men that have military background walking around with guns.
It grew.
It grew.
It started out with 5 and it grew.
And they spread.
And they needed that. But
exactly.
I also want to point out they were protecting white citizens as well too. because
Yeah,
white people was fighting right along with us in order to get us. So it wasn't so much about color. I'm not gonna say it's even about color. It's the equality. People that believe like you and I, that we need to have equal rights as humans. We need to be counted and considered as a human. You know,
well,
and
I'm gonna go
ooh,
ahead.
no, go ahead, because
No,
I got chills. I just like,
no,
ooh,
but the one thing that we must understand, we are human. We have the rights. Nobody can tell you that you don't have the right to be a man or woman. Okay, that's the problem that we have right here, right now. We allow the government and politics and legislation to tell us who we are. They can't tell us who we are. We are free. We have the freedom. What keeps us enslaved is our mind. They
yeah,
manipulate the minds. They
that's right.
manipulate the masses, and people honestly believe you can't do. You can do whatever you want to do. Do not let these people tell you that you can't do. You are free. You have the freedom to do what you want to do. Stop being
Amen,
scared.
amen, and amen
We
again.
got to stop being afraid. And
Well,
that's what
well,
them
well.
deacons did. That's what they did. They was like, oh, okay. You think you're coming up in here? Oh, okay. Come on. I'm a man
There,
just like you are.
there's an
But
actual
And
movie about that. Go
in
ahead. What
what
was you
context
saying, Lee?
saying that? In what context are you saying that we can be anything we want, man or woman? Because
no,
I
I'm
saw it
not
to be
speaking.
highly
I'm not
offensive,
speaking like that. No, no, no,
but
no. Lee, listen. I'm not speaking in that way. I'm speaking in as a man and as a woman. I don't care what you identify as. What I'm
So
saying
what's
is
your sexual
we have
preference?
been we have been told that we're not a man. They used to call black men boys. These grown ass men older than the ones that was talking to them, boy.
oh
No,
yeah, have you?
I'm a man.
Oh, oh my goodness,
She's a woman. You know what I'm
have you
saying?
seen the prank, the boy prank?
Uh-uh.
Have you seen the boy prank?
No.
My bad.
What happened?
I said, have you seen the boy prank?
No. What's about?
These these two white guys go into a grocery store, either a hardware store, and whatever black man they see, they tell him, say, "Hey boy, hand me that."
Oh, I
You
saw
heard
that.
me,
Oh
boy.
yeah.
I said, "Give me that." Yeah, it's supposed to be a prank, but it's not. It caused a bit of a scuffle there. But we've
Yeah.
only been free like what, 50, 51 years?
You still not free.
Is that about right?
I don't know what you're talking about because I'm all the way free.
Out of
I
the
don't know what the hell
300?
you're talking
Huh?
about.
I didn't hear
It's
you.
legislation and all that. I understand. Like I said, all of it is mass manipulation, pandering, and trying to tell people we are all free. All of us. All of us are free. If you want to be technical, we are all free. We're not enslaved and we are not in jail. So we are all free.
Misa,
My
Jonathan Brooks. Good morning. Jonathan Brooks is watching. Molly. Good morning, Molly. Good morning, Patricia. Good morning. Okay.
That's true,
Tracy.
Tracy. But we can't listen here. We are not all free until we all unite. Yeah. But you
I
still are
believe.
individually free. And we still have to, in our individual state of freedom, encourage each other and show each other a new way. We can't just be free and just be walking around and having the people around us not knowing they free. You got to tell it.
Louisa,
Hey,
if we was free, you would have known about the Deacons of Defense. We would have the
hey,
freedom to learn all the
that's
information.
again,
But
we don't
wait a
have
minute.
control of that because you found it.
That's what I
It's
said.
out
So
there.
we're not free. We're only free as loud. It's like this. You saw that commercial with that lady living at the end of that oxygen tube, and she said, "I'm only as free as long as this quarter go." We are only as free as long as the rope that they give us can go. If they say we can't go by that, guess
again,
what?
Who got the rope? Anybody got my rope? No. And I don't watch
It's
TV,
the
so I
things
ain't
that
see
we
that damn
have
commercial.
because we got to go in their laws. We got to go in
I
their laws.
understand that.
You're free to move along
well,
this
see,
box
well, see,
that they put us in.
what? Okay, no, but see, that's just it. Like, just as I like to watch Roland Martin, And in this particular show that he did, it was that we're free, but it's like, how can I, let me try to reiterate, go back on, try to cap this up. Okay. We are free. We've been free for about
Molly
50.
retarded.
No, I want
51
Molly's read that. What he
No,
said,
no,
'cause that's
totally
true.
free.
He said Martin or
No,
Oreo.
we've only been out of the
No, before that. Go ahead,
out of
Lee.
the 300 to 400 years, we've only been free.
Lee, we listening to you. You stop
Yeah.
talking. You doing
Oh,
a Mitch
okay.
McConnell?
That was funny. That was funny. No, he was saying that we're free in our minds, but not free in our hearts and souls. That I can't. Nah, I'll get back to it. My brain ain't working.
But we're not even, a lot of us are not even free of the mind. Like Molly said, if you can't free your mind, how whatever you do in the mind, your body follows. Okay. So if your mind ain't free, ain't no part of you free.
That is correct.
None.
Yeah, I'm in the car with Weezy.
That is correct. We got another video. There's another video. I like what Molly said. He said that's what our elders should have taught us, not the schools. Guess what, Molly? Our elders don't even know that. The stuff that I'm learning now to teach my son, I'm going to teach him now that I know, but we didn't even know that. Our elders didn't even know that stuff was taken from them because they was on a European trajectory to learn all of their history and not our history.
But you know, the elders, certain elders should have heard about that. I can promise you, most of them elders heard about it. Your grandparents might have heard about them, but they didn't tell you.
They said different stuff. I believe that's why my grandfather fled the South. That's what it was said that he had to flee because they was after him because somebody called him a boy or something that he didn't like. And they said that he slapped the hell out of this guy named Frank, this white man, and they said they were looking for him. So he had to get out of North Carolina. So he had to run up north. He left at night. He never went back. The only time he went back was at night. So, and then come later find out he hit somebody. And that was a big no-no back then. But we got another video. What y'all think about this one? So,
over here, 7 cents. All day, John. Over here, 7 cents today. We're paying today. We're paying more than anybody in town. 7 cents. 7 years today. 70 cents today. 70 cents. 70 cents. All day jumping. All I can do is imagine.
8 cent box, and you guarantee you if you pull today and we pull what we got to pull today, you have $11 in your pocket.
This is not taking place in the Congo. It has nothing to do with Johannesburg or Cape Town. It is not Nyasaland or Nigeria. This is Florida. These are citizens of the United States, 1960. This is a shape-up for migrant workers. The hawkers are chanting the going peace rate at the various fields. This is the way the humans who harvest the food for the best-fed people in the world get hired. One farmer looked at this and said, "We used to own our slaves. Now we just rent them." The Secretary of Labor looked at the migrant plight and said,
"I think they're the great mass of what I've called the excluded Americans. They are people who cry out, the workers and their children and their wives, who cry out for some assistance and whose plight is a shame. It's a shame in America."
The president of the American Farm Bureau Federation, the largest farmers organization, says,
I think that most social workers would agree that it's better for a man to be employed, even if his capacity is such as to limit his income. And we take the position that it's far better to have thousands of these folks who are practically unemployable, earning some money, doing some productive work for at least a few days in the year.
This is an American story that begins in Florida and ends in New Jersey and New York State with the harvest. It is a 1960 Grapes of Wrath that begins at the Mexican border in California and ends in Oregon and Washington. It is the story of men and women and children who work 136 days of the year and average $900 a year. They travel in buses. They ride trucks. They follow the sun.
Well, I don't know. It don't look like we'll ever get ahead. I guess we'll just have to keep going till we can find something better.
A minister named Cassidy, who works with them, says,
they are just as bad as the slave. Only on name they are not a slave, but in the way they are treated, they are worse than a slave. And somebody has made thousands of dollars out of his sweat. Is that a slave or not?
You might think you know Snapchat, but do you really? Here's 3 things that you might not know about Snapchat ads. Did you?
They are the migrants, workers in the sweatshops of the soil, the harvest of shame.
Now, y'all could go back and watch the rest of that, later if you're interested. But look at the migrant workers of 1960. Now look at the migrant workers of today. That lady, she said we used to own our slaves. Now we rent them. How much of that? And the National Farm Bureaus of America, the Farm Bureau Association of America, that's who Michelle used to work for. Those people, the same Farm Bureaus, and they're still in control of that stuff now. And this, like he said, from Florida all the way up to Maine, Oregon, all over the world, New Jersey, New York, reaps the benefits of this. How those people was
getting them steps in.
Thousands of people, women, men, and children. This is 1960. Didn't slavery end? We supposed to be free in 1960, right?
Well, it's not supposed to have been. You have to remember that there was 10 states that did not go along with the union. They built their own union. Delaware, Pennsylvania. That was 10. Tennessee. I want to say it was Oklahoma. There was 10 states that rebelled the Constitution. And that's what I was about to say. When it comes out, see, when you were saying that we try to hold the Constitution at its word. And this is something that I watched years ago, a movie where the black man that had his farm, he got his 40 acres, and he walked in and he says, be true to what you have on paper. All men are created equal. This is what equality. And he would show them that paper. This is what we do. Whatever's written, we take it to them and show them, and this goes for us too. We are human. And the more we fight for that particular right, what's on paper, it goes opposite of not for us, but for them. Everything we fought for, even,
I was saying in the movie, the Deacons of Defense, Forrest Whitaker asked the man, I have the right to protect my children too? The man looked at him and said, no, nigger, you don't have that right. See,
right.
We don't have that right. They don't care what's written because it was written for them, not for us. because we wasn't even
Yes.
thought of as being a whole man. We wasn't even thought of
Absolutely.
as of that. Louisa, am I wrong or right?
Oh, you're right.
I mean, you're right.
The thing is though, you
We gotta
you know what?
rewrite some stuff. That's
Let
all
me
I'm
let me
saying.
let me read the comments because let me read the comments. I don't
Okay.
need to go there today. I don't need to go there today.
Go where? What you do?
You know where I go. I ain't about to go there today. Let's see. Malik said, peace, Empress. Molly, you in the car with me? Where we going? He said his mother was 14 and his father at the time was 19. They never mentioned this. They didn't know. They were young. NYC Playboy. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. NYC Playboy said this type of lifestyle still exists. The immigrants follow the harvest, moving from location to location. Yep. Hey, Rico. Good morning. Happy birthday. And Malik said not at all.
You know, also, I think it was the Good Shepherd. I was reading something about the Good Shepherd, and also in Mr. Rowland's thing. In that movie, The Good Shepherd, I was trying to find the scene, but it said this was after the war. He said he asked the Italian. He said, "What do you have?" This is a white guy asking this question. He said, "What do you have?" He says, "Well." The Italian, he said, "Well, Mr. The Italian guy," he says, "You have family.
Okay,
that's a good thing." He said, "The niggers have their music. The Jews have their whatever." He said, "Well, what do you have, sir?" That's what the Italian asked the white guy. "What do you have?" He said, "We have the whole United States. You all are just visiting." Huh? That's the Good Shepherd. That's a book.
You said who just
that's
visited?
a movie that we should be watching.
The Good Shepherd. Okay, so one of the reasons why I said I need not to go
You
there
gotta
because
remember, I'm 60 years old, and I had a little teeny flag about that big taken out of my hand to tell me that this was not my America in South Carolina. So I've seen, we worked on the Beeson and the Mullins plantation in South Carolina. I've seen a few things.
Exactly.
Not
60
I've
years is
seen a
not
few
that
things.
long ago. So this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. These laws and legislations, you're just 60. That is not that long ago that these things were still occurring. And we gotta, the funny thing is, a lot of people would not be here in these quote unquote United States of America if we hadn't let them get here. Because a lot of us were already here. A lot of us did not come from overseas. A lot of us did, but a great deal of us were here. So most of these people are actually immigrants. And we allowed them in this country because we and the natives are kind people. You can't tell now because of what this bull crap that's going on, but we are actually kind and caring people. We taught them how to survive here in this climate. We've taught them, taught the English and those that came over here because they were running from being overruled or being ruled over there in their country to come over here and try to try to rule and run this country. And they were successful. It's evidential. It's evidential because we are too trusting. Yeah. And it's nothing wrong with being trusting. I'm talking about then because we want to give
you know what it was then? Why they was able to take over us and do all that because of the gunpowder. Because
the gunpowder and their nasty asses brought all them diseases with them that we were not accustomed to because we didn't have that mess here. So this is why I say no matter what's put on rule, what's put on paper, we are free. I don't care what they write down. I understand we went through these things and it's horrible. We went through horrible things because of malicious, savage-minded people that came over here and took over, right? But no matter what, before they got here, we were free. We may have been enslaved enslaved, but our minds have always been free. No matter what our bodies were doing, no matter how much work we did, we were always free because we cared and took care of each other. At the end of the day, no matter if you got beaten, somebody came and took care of whoever got beat. We made sure that person ate. We made sure, no matter what, we are still free. We have forgotten who we are, and we have forgotten the fact that no matter what is said, no matter what is done, no matter who tries to take our life, we are free.
Wait a minute, you said a powerful word. You said we've forgotten. This is where history comes to play at. Because back then, we had unity. Back then, in the 60s, everybody dressed, everybody ate. They had rent parties. My grandparents told me about that, where they would help each other pay their bills. They would have a party, quarter party, rent party, or somebody's running. So it came together as a community. We had community back then. Then they started the desegregation, the breaking us up because they knew
but that wasn't us. I mean, that wasn't them.
It was the government.
Reese, no. Desegregation was not fought by white people. That was us. We fought for that.
But that's because we didn't know no better, because we thinking that, but
we wanted equality.
We wanted equality. We wanted the same kind of books. We wanted the good books.
I understand that, but we thought what we had was not good enough. And that's our problem. We need to stop looking at everything that's shiny, everything that looks like it's good, and think that it ain't good. We have what we need. We had what we needed, and we thought because the white people had something quote unquote better, that's what we needed. And all we did was make it worse on ourselves. We had so much. We had so much, and we still have so much. But because it doesn't look like that, because it don't look like that, what was one of the last things of the speeches that Martin Luther King said? He did what? He realized.
Look,
that he may have
realized, and they don't never talk about that speech. He realized that he made a mistake. He said that he done told his people to go into a burning building. He was agreeing with Malcolm X at the end, but they don't teach you that.
No, because they don't realize that they had came together.
And that's the speech that got him killed, because he was getting ready to teach different. He was getting ready to look, we made a mistake. My bad. We made a mistake. Let's correct this. But before he could tell everybody, we got to correct this, then he was gone. I got something that go along with that. Molly, bring that up about my other video, Molly.
Okay, let me read the comments real quick while he bringing it up.
Okay.
Molly said, who the first person to buy land and who did they purchase it from? That's a great question. And then he said, they told people they from Africa and evolved from monkey, Lord. He who tells the story control the narrative. And yep, exactly. That's what I was saying earlier. We needed each other back then. Nowadays, we feel like we don't. James in the house, he said, yes, rent parties. He also said, yeah, at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day, y'all need to believe what Malcolm said. No matter our individual differences, our commonalities are the same. Yep.
Molly, you got the clip that we didn't get a chance to show to today, and they talk about Dr. King's speech. You set that up and play that for the folks. Y'all listen to this. Check this out. Think about this.
Why in school they leave out so many big important facts on our black leaders? I have a question. Why didn't they tell us in school that he contradicted his I have a dream speech and then say he feared he led his people into a burned building? I have a question. Why in school they didn't tell us Martin Luther King survived the gunshot wound on a balcony and made it to the hospital, but later was killed in the hospital and suffocated by the doctors as they spit on him? I have a question. Why in school they didn't teach us that Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. became real good friends before they both died, and that they pushed the bullshit to the side, which was their religion issues, and focused on the main goal, making black people better? I have a question. Why in school they didn't teach us that Martin Luther King realized that integrating was not the answer for our problems? I have a question. Why in school they didn't teach us that Martin Luther King was talking about all the land they was giving away to everyone except blacks, that we need to stop spending our money in America? I got a question. Tell me why they didn't teach us in school that Coretta Scott actually sued the hospital that killed Martin Luther King Jr. and she won the case too. I don't do what I do because I hate white people. I hate no one. It just hurts my soul to see the state and condition my people are in today. And I refuse to play their game. I have a question. Why?
And
he is all that is absolutely right. All
correct.
that is correct.
I did the research. I'm like, we got to study to show ourselves improve. So, but that's just it. We don't. If we had community and respect for one another back then, like they did, that community, you wouldn't have to see 3 little teenagers trying to jack somebody 13, 14, and 15, jacking somebody for their car with golf clubs. Jackings and all this stuff is so common nowadays. It don't surprise or shock nobody. Back in the day, they had it a little here and there, but it was more of a community base. You would see the kids out there delivering papers, working summer jobs to get some money, sweeping up the storefronts, picking up the parking lots, collecting cans to get some money. You see, can I walk your dog? Can I take out your trash? If you live in the building, children nowadays are not children no more. Kids aren't children no more because we're not allowing and letting them to be kids. The government helped us with that by saying we can't discipline our children, or you can't do this, you can't do that. They put us in this box and say you got to do within the confines that's going on in this box.
Now, can I say something real quick about discipline?
Yes.
We tend to forget that discipline means to teach. So it doesn't necessarily mean about beating. Sometimes you got to spank. Okay, I get that. But discipline just strictly means to teach. You teach your children. Nobody can stop you from teaching your children. We allow this nonsense to come into our household because we have a fear of being locked up. And that fear of being locked up is instilled so much in us that we just completely let it go. But you don't, just because they don't want you to beat the shit out your kids, we shouldn't be beating the shit out of kids. If you got to spank them, yes, sometimes they need that butt tap, okay? But for the most part, you are supposed to teach your children. You are supposed to rear and raise your children. Not saying that they're not going to make mistakes, because we made mistakes. I knew a lot of the stuff that I did was wrong, but my parents taught me. You know what I'm saying? We have to teach them, and we allow people to tell us what we can and cannot do, which is why I say the mind is the biggest place. You are free as long as you know that you're free. But if you don't know that you're free, you're in prison. Let me read James. James said, okay, the reason why that's not told is individuality conquers you from being a group of individuals together. Togetherness means you now have to compromise with me to get what you want, and I have to compromise with you to get what I want. If I have to separate, I don't need to compromise with anybody, because my group is together. Not saying it's just white people, but the greedy in mind was 95% the ones who came over here and took this country from the Indians. It was all several. Can you expand it a little more, Molly? Because he had more going on.
Nah, that's the most they would show on the show.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? I listened to you talk about discipline. I thought discipline was a punishment. You
discipline
can teach
means
them
to teach. So
I thought it meant punishment.
Because that's what we were taught. Discipline means to teach, to
I mean,
rear, to guide.
when you
So
discipline someone,
Punishment is
that means
punishment.
Right.
Discipline. Let's look up the definition. Y'all keep talking. I'm gonna look up the definition.
Yeah, punishment usually means negative reinforcement or a consequence to something that you did that was looked at as not good or whatever. That's frowned upon.
But what,
discipline.
Okay, you looked up punishment. What is discipline?
A penalty for retribution for offense. Now I'm gonna look up discipline. What is the definition of discipline?
Here's the definition of discipline. The practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior, using punishment to correct disobedience.
Aha. Louise was
Right.
absolutely right.
I mean, it don't have to be
It don't have to
physical,
have
like
punishment in
spanking
it.
them.
Right.
Right.
Louisa, what she
But
was
how
saying
you
is right with the teaching.
how is it?
Correcting. Discipline is correcting.
Yeah, correcting
Correction
and
is
or
teaching.
punishment.
You can use punishment, but the thing is, these kids nowadays, well, I'm not gonna say all of them because it works on some children. But punishment and spanking, you get used to getting whooped. That's why I said whoopings ain't always it. You get used to that. You get used to getting your butt whooped. You get used to being in the room. You get used to stuff being taken from you. You know what I'm saying? You get used to that. But what are you learning? What are you learning? Why am I? What did I do for
And
me to
see,
get this punishment?
my punishment for my kids were to go to the dictionary and write me starting from A to whatever you get done. I want 5 words, 5 sentences. I want everything about those 5 words a day.
Woo.
That was
But
mine.
you're
Now
not
I
telling
can't
them what
even
they
have a
did
carry a
wrong.
conversation with them.
That's just like Facebook putting me in
They're
jail. They
smarter
punish
than me.
me and they're not telling me why. All you know is you punish. Go to your room. You know why? That's why when I used to before I used to lay it down on my son, I said, "Do you know why I'm getting ready to tear your butt up? Or do you know why you punish?" I'm asking him that question. And if he don't know why, then it's my job as a parent to tell him and to tell him why or why not that you got to adhere to whatever rules that's
But
in place.
see, but a lot of parents don't, and the children most times don't know what they did or why what they did was wrong. That's why you have to explain it. Man, my mother, she used to get on my nerves. She used to get on my nerves. Sit there for a whole hour going down a list of things and explaining why, and we still got our butt whooped afterwards. We thought we was done because that punishment, that conversation was enough punishment for us. She said, "I'm still about to spank you." Well, dang, you should have just spanked me then. But she wanted to make sure we understood why this was wrong or why you shouldn't have. Yeah, and a lot of times we didn't. And I like Lee when she said she made them go do. Man, I had to do dictionary stuff too. But like you said, it regardless of you sitting there writing, you are actually learning. You're teaching your children whether they want to learn it or not. You're putting them in a better position, even if you spank them. Or if you're telling them or explaining to them why, because the crazy thing that we do as adults is we forget what it's like to be children. We forget what it's like to be kids. And we put the expectations of adults on children and wonder why they have a problem. When we as adults can't even regulate ourselves half the time. How can we expect them to be regulated and expect them to act like they got some sense when we act like we crazy too? You can't put adult expectations of children. You can teach them, you can show them, but you also have to know that they're going to have times where they can't get it together either because they're still learning. Just like grown ass adults out here acting buck wild and crazy, was not given the time or properly guided, and that's why they out here acting a fool. Us as adults who've had to always be responsible have missed out sometimes on things that we should have learned as children. So now we in our 40s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, learning how to regulate, learning how to look at things, learning how to discipline ourselves because we weren't taught. We got to teach our kids and we got to teach ourselves. We are the example. If we telling our kids one thing and doing another, they're not going to do what we told them.
Right.
We got to, so it's come on now. We got to do this and get back on what we was talking about because I don't even know how we got away over here. But
disciplining and
but
people and
we really have to again teach each other. We got to show each other. We have to let each other know what it is. And it doesn't matter what the state of the world is in. If we take one person and say, "Hey, you are intelligent. Do not let nobody tell you that you're not worthy of anything. You can work hard, you can try hard, you can learn, you can do this, take care of other people." We got to start planting these seeds in each other because seeds that you plant in one person, they will plant in another. Eventually, it's going to grow. You might not necessarily see it. You might not reap it, but it will be there. And it starts with one person, one word, a hug. Go walk up and hug somebody. I mean, you ain't gonna hug no rant,
Louise, I like what Molly say. Molly always say it start from home. We supposed to, when we send our children out in the world, in the school, they are always, they're supposed to have a certain applied knowledge. They're supposed to have a certain knowledge about themselves and stuff like that. We got to teach our children at home, right?
But if the parents don't know at home, they can't teach them.
You know,
and they're not going to teach certain things at school.
Know, but they don't understand that they got to teach us.
Yeah,
and I can use myself as an example. I didn't know my name when I started school. I didn't know my government name.
Okay.
I didn't know how to write, but guess what? I knew my ABCs and everything, and even know how to write Reese in cursive. That's important for a kindergartner.
Yeah,
because I wrote it all on the wall upstairs. My grandmother told me that, but nobody took the time to tell me who the hell Althea was.
Yeah,
because they never used that name in the house. They never called me by that name. So when they was calling me Althea McFarland, I'm standing out there looking around. I never heard Reese. All the classes went in. And because I did not know my name, okay, they didn't take the time to teach me that. Thank God the ancestors and God, everybody was looking out for me that day, because I started to walk through a neighborhood. I was integrated. I was in Riverdale. I live in Palmer Park. I'm a kindergartner, 5 years old in the Riverdale. Know where I am, standing outside on the playground by myself. All of these teachers and stuff went in. And if it wasn't for Miss Green, the first grade teacher, thank you, Miss Green.
Why would the teachers leave you outside?
First grade, she looked out the window and she said, "Oh, who left this baby out there?" Susan Fusco. That was my kindergarten teacher, right? She got killed in that plane crash that hit that bridge back in '78. She was aboard that plane. Miss Green took me to her class. She was like, you left a child out there. And they was like, no, we didn't. Who didn't respond to their name? And when they said out there, she said, "What's your name, baby?" I said, Reese McFarland. They said, that's out there that didn't show up. They took a note and pinned it to me, and I had to bring it home. They're like, "Get this to your parents." And it told them that they need to teach me my name. My grandmother was so mad. She gonna come to me and say, "Reese, you don't know your name?" I said, "Yeah." "What's your name?" "It's Reese." "You just said Reese. You don't know your name." She said, come here. She made me learn my name, my full name, writing it in English, plain letter, and in cursive. I learned my full name, Althea McFarland. Then I learned what Reese was. Everybody had, then she told me, that's what the family call you. Althea McFarland, that's your name. And I was like, okay, but nobody never told me.
Exactly. So that wasn't your fault. That wasn't your fault.
She mad. So she
why are you mad? You didn't teach me. Mommy didn't teach me. Nobody, Papa didn't teach me.
And over and over. And again, my mother still wasn't teaching me my name. It was my grandmother doing it.
Well, somebody taught you. But that's why, with my children, even when they're babies, and I only found out, I think, one time what I was having. One time, or maybe twice, I don't know. But when they're born, I start calling them by their name. And I go first, middle, last. And then as they get older, we give them nicknames. But I still randomly call them by their name. I do it now. I call one of them by their middle name right now because I want them to acknowledge who they are. I taught them how to write their names and everything. Working on other stuff. So it's like you said, it's up to the parents or those who are over the children to teach them. And something as simple as your first name, you up there like, I don't know who that is. You know who you're Reese.
I was a bright kid, but that made
right.
Me look
but
like
see, but that's also an example of why there's so much hate and craziness in this world, because of what we're taught or not taught. We go by what's shown on TV, what we hear, and until we decide to go find the truth, we are ignorant.
That's true.
So
that's true. Yeah. And we got to teach our children before they get to school. So they look, y'all take a note out of Tyree book. when he started elementary, we started Head Start and kindergarten. The teacher said, "There's nothing we could teach him."
Mm-hmm.
He already knew everything. They let him play
Yep.
on the computer or sit at the teacher's desk. There was nothing we could teach him. He was spelling. He was everything.
Yep.
You know, he was that a student. He'll tell you himself.
Yeah.
You
Look, Molly
know,
said, whenever my mother called me by my first name, I knew I was in trouble. My kids are like that. When I call them by their middle name, they are in trouble for real. And that's what I'm really trying to get their attention, because nobody really calls you by your middle name. If you're not doing what I tell you to do, or I done found out something you done got in trouble with, that middle name is coming straight out. My mother used to do that to me. I used to hate that. Like, oh, stop it.
see, I didn't have a middle name, and I knew if they called me Althea, I was in
Right.
trouble.
You was in
Like,
trouble.
Reese this,
Mhm.
Reese this, Reese that, Reese this. And then if they use your foot, Althea McFarlane, I'm like, I did not.
Oh, you
do
better
it.
run the other way.
Yeah,
Right.
no, if you run, it's worse. If you run, you're gonna get a beating. If you go,
No, for
man,
real.
listen to what
No,
they
mine.
got to say.
But
But
see,
if you run, you get a beating.
but you know what, Molly and Reese, that's why I didn't like my name, my first name, because of course y'all know my nickname is Wheezy, but my first name is Louisa, and the only time I would hear it is like Molly said, when I'm about to get in trouble, and it would sound so bad coming out of my mama, Louisa, and I'd be like, what did I do? So I love my name now, of course, but back then, oh no, you better not call me. And look, don't. And when my sisters and them call me that, I'm like, who you talking to? Because I'm punching your nose.
You don't use my whole name.
You don't call me that,
my
because
government
I don't know who you talking to. Dang it.
even now, don't be saying my name while people you
Don't be
know.
calling my government, right? Yep, that's true though. But this was thank you so much for this information, Reese, because oh my gosh. That was a lot of great information. Yeah.
And then
How you doing?
how did this movie get under my radar? That movie came out. Bill Duke directed a movie called The Deacons for Defense.
I'm gonna go watch it.
And it's a good movie. Forrest Whitaker played the character in it, the lead, and Ozzie Davis is in it. And I was like,
I love Ozzie Davis and Bill Duke.
It was a good movie.
Yeah.
It's even on YouTube, y'all. It's like an hour and 36 minutes, something like that. But it's a good movie, and it's a true story. And I want to tell you about Kirkpatrick. Look up Frederick Douglass Kirkpatrick. Next time you gotta smack somebody. Like look, the Tony Baker, and he was dropping knowledge, and we didn't even know he dropping knowledge.
I wonder if he knows.
Kirkpatrick. You just used to think he was saying something. That's that man's name, Frederick Douglass Kirkpatrick. He's one of the deacons. These people was like, we're going to defend our community like the deacons defended the church. And this wasn't a church deacon. Don't get you wrong. It was Civil War veterans that came back to defend their community.
Yeah.
And that's how they came the deacons of defense, because they said we are defending our community like a deacon would defend the church. Then the guy was like, hey, let's call ourselves Deacons for Defense of Justice. But the of Justice dropped off, so they just called themselves Deacons for the Defense.
Yeah.
You know, and it was awesome. They protected the civil rights leaders that went down there. Martin Luther King was like, can y'all walk with us and protect us? There was some bad men. There was some army people for World War I and II. There's some army, they came back. And then one of the things was, when you were in the army, Forrest Whitaker said, did you kill any white people? And the guy said, yeah, because you stood up for your country. It's okay to kill them when they was over there killing Germany and all that stuff, because you fighting for your country. It's okay. But then you came back to America and they're calling you a nigger and boy and all of this after you done stood up for your country, fought in a war on foreign soil, and you come back and you treated like a dog.
I can only imagine how emasculated and heartbroken they felt coming home. Like it just doesn't make. Oh my goodness.
They thinking they're gonna get a heroes welcome them. Yeah, thank you for your life. Like, you know how we say thank you for your service. We say that to any color, anybody that served in the military. You thank them for their service. But can you imagine you come home, thank you for your service, and you got to go back out in the field, pick cotton or vegetables or whatever.
Didn't
Like
get
that.
any
Can't
benefits,
afford to
no
take care of your
benefits at
family.
all.
That they
No.
out there only get so, you know. My great granddaddy fought in the World War II, and my
You know,
grandfather's
your
brother.
phone feels somewhere.
Yeah, I think he had two brothers that fought in the World War II, and his daddy was in World War II. Yep. So, but that
Yeah, my
was
granddaddy Jack was in World War II, I think. Was he in World War II or World War One? He might have been in World. He was
two.
in two. Might have been two. My granddaddy Jack.
Yeah, because my
Yeah, he
granddaddy
lost
been
his
100
leg.
and something years old, so that was
World War II.
yeah.
Was it? Yeah, yeah, because he'd have been about Yep. And he lost his leg, and so we we were young. We used to mess with his leg all the time. Like, come here, leave my leg alone. So we give him
His
his
name
leg.
was Jack.
Yeah,
You
granddaddy
know
Jack.
they call it Jack Leg.
Uh,
They call it
I'm pretty
bootleg.
sure his
They call
friends
it Jack
did,
Leg.
and he used to whistle, and I don't know if he realized he was doing it, but he used to walk around whistling, just whistling. We snap peas with him and clean fish and scale fish and stuff with him. And by the time we were born, he had them calmed down, but he was a wild man, boy.
You see
Who
what
was
Carlton
that?
Burrell said about you? Carlton, we're gonna get a divorce. I'm about
Who
to
is
call the
this?
Deacons for the defense. That's one of my comedian husbands. Carlton been on the show. Carlton
First and
Burrell.
foremost, oh yeah, oh Carlton, don't come on here acting up today. Don't be coming up here acting up. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I hope
But
you
anyway,
caught the show. It was enlightening. Enlightening. Did I say enlightening? I
enlightening.
saw the boats flying. It was enlightening. The movie came out 2003, y'all. The Deacons for Defense. Watch it. Bill Duke. Everybody know who Bill Duke is.
Yes,
Bill
he
Duke
is amazing.
a phenomenal writer. When did you
Yeah.
first see Bill Duke, Weezy?
Now
What was you about to say? He
I don't
played
remember.
Abdullah in Car Wash.
Yeah, but I don't think I don't know if that was the first time I saw him though.
But maybe you didn't watch Car Wash, but did you watch Predator?
Yeah.
He was in Predator. He's the one.
Yep.
Something gonna happen tonight. Long John Sally. He was the one. I love me some Bill Duke.
I like him. Yeah, I like him.
Cool.
I
His
like
character is so cool, you know. And
he just walk around.
I didn't used to like Forrest Whitaker at first when I first saw
Really?
him and Fast Times
Why?
at Ridgemont. And then I liked him when I saw the movie The Crying Game.
Yeah,
Forrest
well,
Whitaker.
what made you not like Forrest?
I don't know, because he just was like, "Ugh." He was playing Lincoln from the other school, and he was just like, he just reminded me of what's that from Revenge of the Nerds? That big guy they always.
Oh, yeah.
He reminded me of it, yeah, because he was like that. Oh, don't mess with Jefferson's car. That was his name, Jefferson, and he was tearing the people up on the football field. I'm like, look at him, you know. It's just, you know. But then I liked him later.
Yeah, he's a great actor. All of them are wonderful actors.
They were, and Ozzie Davis. I love me some
Oh,
Ozzie.
yes, him. Oh, I love Ozzie Davis.
So y'all check that movie out, and then you get back to me and let me know if y'all like that movie or not, and learn something. Look, now you can got something to tell your kids about the defense.
I am
for the
definitely
world.
going to show them that. I'm going to send
Yes.
it to everybody because that is wow.
So when they doing Black History this and Black History that, when we get that month in February, 28 days, they have something else to add. Who is my hero? Frederick Douglass Kirkpatrick.
Hold on, what did he say? He said,
Tell us about Kirkpatrick.
you know what?
He said we can't never be
Carlton need to go in the back. He said we ain't never been married. He talking about you and him. I'm not gonna read the rest. He's being very inappropriate for this show. That's tomorrow. That's tomorrow's show, Carlton.
That's Freaky Friday. You could talk about putting jelly on biscuits and stuff tomorrow, Carlton, and ham. Bring the ham and put the jelly on the biscuit. Could you please pass the jelly? That gives me an idea for tomorrow's show topic, Louisa. That's what that's gonna be.
OMG.
What is the freakiest thing that you ever put on your body or your mate's body?
Oh, okay.
Body butter, shea butter, peanut butter. What kind of butter you put
Apple butter. What kind of butter?
What kind of butter you know? I know Carlton likes the jelly on the
Apparently.
on the biscuits. So that's tomorrow's topic.
Okay.
Next topic, what you putting on your body and willing to eat off a person's body. So whatever you put on there, make sure you
Freaky Friday.
Yeah, Freaky Friday.
What you got anything coming up, Reese?
Oh, yes, ma'am, I sure do. Other than my birthday, and tomorrow, if y'all go down to Tacoma Station, y'all can party and celebrate with Rico Jerome. Tomorrow they're having a celebration at Tacoma Station. All the Virgo love, come out and say happy birthday to my boy Rico. I'm gonna try to get there, Rico. No, if I'm not there, it's not by my heart, it's by my transportation. But I try to get there. But
that's a reason too. Shoot.
on the 8th, it's my birthday. Yay.
Yep, sure is.
But I have a show on the 9th with it's the last poolside event with the Gwen Factor. And after that show, I have a 8 o'clock virtual show in the summer with Phil Page. Then I'm going to hit Notes and Jokes.
Oh, you gonna sit in here?
At 10 o'clock in the night, the Booba Cow's room.
Oh, she got a lot going on.
He said that they're going to salute me. I know they're going to roast me. I want to hear the roast about me. Roast me, honey. My mama used to call me Butterball. They used to call me Butterball. So roast me like a turkey. I want to hear. I want to laugh.
Don't forget to wish Kenneth a happy birthday.
Don't forget to wish Kenneth happy birthday, Kenneth. Oh, that's my other baby. I got so many babies. I mean, so many men. But happy birthday, Kenneth. That's right here.
Happy birthday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenneth, Rico.
Great Virgos coming up. And for y'all that just missed the Leo.
I'm a shout out to tomorrow because their birthday tomorrow. Star and Denise Quick's fiance. Their birthday tomorrow.
Yes. So we gotta make sure. Hey, ask when they want to come on the show. They're welcome to. We'll say happy birthday. I gotta get the birthday song ready for them.
Oh goodness.
And I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Play the birthday song for everybody. So that'll be great. And what else do I got? Oh, September the 29th, I'm going to be at Tokyo Pearl. That's in DuPont Circle, Weezy. And then on the 30th is the Ladies of Go-Go down at Five Sisters Lounge. I'm just going to be hosting that, MCing the Go-Go, Ladies of Go-Go. Then on the 2nd of October, that's the day after Molly's birthday. You know we got to do something big for Molly's birthday. He's bringing October 1 in. I'll be at in Columbia, Maryland. But my big thing is going to be on November the 5th. If y'all haven't already got your tickets, but they have tickets, please get your tickets. I'll be featured on Dave's Carter tour. Just Call My Name tour. I'll be featured on that. And I'm so excited about that. That's going to be at the Arlington Draft House on November the 5th, 6 p.m. Doors open. No time at 7 o'clock. Dave don't play. He on time. He be on time with his stuff. So it's going to be a great show. And guess who's hosting it? Hosting it. So I can't wait. I'm excited about that. I'm ready to sing my song. I need to because I'm feeling brand new. Rip me out the plastic.
Rip me out the plastic.
Rip me out the plastic. That's right, y'all. because I feel it brand new. But other than getting y'all booked, because the second one will be out in December. Woo, you got to read the first one first. The second one is really dark and deep. I don't think they're going to be ready for the second one, Louise.
Look, I'm sorry, y'all. My godmother had me listen groceries, bring them upstairs. But y'all ain't ready for the second one, though. Y'all ain't ready.
Your godmother said what?
She had me bringing her groceries upstairs.
Oh, y'all got to be ready for the second one. The second one is a little deep, a little darker. It ain't child's play. Put it like that. The first one is told in the eyes of a 5-year-old. The second one is told in the eyes of a 20-something-year-old. So,
I'm sorry.
Freaky Friday, Tall Tale, all wrapped up in the so, yeah, definitely. Louisa, you got anything great to tell the people?
Yeah, September 23rd at 7 o'clock. We're doing the end of summer rooftop party. Tickets are $15.
Okay.
And they're 20, so you're welcome.
Is there a theme? Like a 90s or 80s? Is there a theme?
Oh, no, it's just the end of summer. There's no particular theme, just end of summer rooftop party. And then in October, we're going to have a Halloween party. So I'm going to get the date for that because I can't remember exactly which Saturday that is. But we're going to do a Halloween party. This is Red Vision. So Saturday, September 23rd, Halloween. September
Where's
23rd.
The rooftop at? You said the rooftop
I'm at 55,
party?
yeah, 55 M Street. M is in Martha.
Talking to the mic.
55 M Street Northeast. M is in Mary.
Why we just see your forehead?
Because I gotta talk to the mic like that.
55 M Street Northeast. That's the rooftop. This the last day y'all can wear y'all booty shorts and flip flops.
Unless you wear some tights and some socks with them. But yeah, this gonna be our end of summer rooftop party, and then in October, which I'll come back with that date. I'm sorry, September 23rd at 7 p.m. October, we're having a Halloween party. Best costume wins $100.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, gonna do that, and that's
still on the show. This is Lee. How about y'all still in the back room?
Lee, you in the back.
Look, Lee on the phone, y'all.
So do not forget November 3rd of 2020. Oh.
She said because her internet sucks, so we just saying the goodbyes. And Louise is telling us about the end of summer party on September 23rd.
At 7 o'clock, James. 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, Lee, 55 M Street.
Yes.
Northeast. Rooftop.
Mullen.
Rooftop party.
Masks. You're welcome.
This I don't know. Lee said what color?
It's this the end of summer, so whatever you want to wear.
Whatever you want to wear, just the end of summer. You can wear your booty shorts if you want.
Lee, you come with there some booty shorts, Lee. I'm definitely getting that picture. You need that for memory. I put it on the table.
Okay. All right. Okay. Bye. Lee said goodbye, everybody. I'm sorry, Phoenix.
It's okay.
The Halloween party, you're going to get back with us.
What'd you say? I was done.
And that's the $100 best costume winner. But what they win for the end of summer?
Hold on. Can you hear me? Okay, I can't hear you. What's going on here? Okay. I can't hear you. What happened? Hold on. Let me go here.
If I see heat, why the fuck would I wanna go there? Mama, I make you smile.
Say something, Reese.
Hello?
Nope.
We can't hear. We can hear you. I don't know why. You can't hear me. We love you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
I can hear you now. I can hear you. I can hear you now.
James said, Lord willing, he will be there. The end of summer party. It's only $15. That's September 23rd, 55 M Street, y'all. On the rooftop. This is going to be my last chance to go on the roof.
Yep, 20 at the door. 20 at the door.
You said 20 at the door?
Yeah, 20 at the door. And if you want to come and you can't pay until you get to the door, let me know and I have you on the list so we'll know to expect you.
Okay. Appreciate that. Love y'all. Tomorrow, Freaky Friday, y'all. What's the nastiest thing or the best thing you put on your lover's body? Ooh, KMA all over. We out of here, y'all. Peace. Dick is for the defense. Watch it.